Hey guys, welcome back with the Africa Twin today for a closer look at the OEM Honda Vinyl Panniers. But enough for the chit chat, let's get on it. As we look at those panniers, one thing that pops out is how big they are. They are massive. As a matter of fact, when it comes to reviews and carrying my tripod, the cameras and all the equipment I need, this is one of the easiest time I've had so far. Maybe apart from the Goldwing that I reviewed last time. I was used to the Vario from my BMW F800 GS that expand, but even with those expanded, the Africa Twin panniers are way bigger. Before we start talking about size and how much stuff you can fit in it, let's take a look at the construction. They are fairly solid, at least for vinyl panniers. They're not on par with aluminum, but there is a reason why I chose this, and we'll talk about it later. All the hinges seems pretty sturdy, although it kind of moves a little bit, and I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's just because this is the best fit that they could find for them. All the latches are very positive. There is a defined click every time you move anything, including opening the key. When it comes to installation and removal, it's very simple, but there is one thing, you need the key. Now, once you put the key in and you open it up, at this point you're able to unlock and pull it off the hinges. Easy enough, and when you put it back in, you just align that, put them on, and then lock it back up. Now the key is not coming out. You need to actually latch it, and then the key is coming out. There are a few pros and cons on needing the key to open and close the bag. The negative is that if I just keep this in my pocket and I want to access the bags real quick, I can't. Or if I want to remove the bags with the bag locked, I cannot. And this is about it. The rest are all pros, meaning, first of all, you will never wonder if the bags are locked as you're walking away from the bike, as long as you have the key. Second, nobody can steal your bags, because once the bags are on, they are secure and locked. Another pro on owning the vinyl panniers is that, well, once you remove the bags, the bike looks exactly as it's supposed to look like. There are no braces or frame that stays here and cover and crowds this area. It's just as it is all the times. But when you need the panniers, you just put it back on it and forget about it. And that is one of the few reasons why I chose to go with the vinyl panniers for the Africa Twin. Second, you can lock them with the same key that I use for the ignition. Third, they're massive and they are side loading. I know a lot of people like the top loading on their panniers. I like front loading, maybe because I'm used to it. But I think that when I take the panniers off the bike and start stuffing my gear in there, it's easier for me to have the front opening. Obviously, I'm not gonna lie, the fact that those are cheaper than the aluminum one by quite a bit was enticing to me as well. It is time to talk about size. Obviously, the right panniers is smaller than the left one, and that's because of the exhaust. You have all this area over here that is unusable, but that's normal and usually goes for most panniers in the market. When it comes to the left-hand panniers, it's just massive. It's super wide, super tall. You can fit a ton. As a matter of fact, I brought the biggest helmet I own, which is the AGV Sport Modular. Even though I have a massive Cardo installed on the side, you can put it any which way. You put it in there like that, close, no problem. You want to put it in there the opposite way, same thing. Put it in, close, no problem. You want to put it in there open? I don't know, I've never done it. Let's see if it goes in there. And it does. Close, no problem. Let's put the helmet aside for a minute and let's take a look inside. Is absolutely massive. If you're one of those people that carries a lot of stuff when you go around, this is probably worth the money. Another thing is, in theory, this is somewhat water resistant. You have a gasket all around. It's a soft gasket that when you close, prevents the water from going in. When you bring the panniers home, there are a few things you need to do. Nothing difficult, very, very easy. The first thing is put the rubber grommet on the passenger peg. Over here, there is one screw in the back which ensures that the rubber grommet is not going to pop out. Second thing to do is to match the key set with your actual key. It comes in a plastic bag where you have the cylinder and a whole bunch of little pieces of metal. It's nothing difficult, so let's go back to the garage right now and let's see how that process works. First thing you gotta do is obviously open it up and pull the stuff out. Stop right there though. You're gonna open every single little pouch one at a time, otherwise they're gonna get confused with each other and it's gonna be a mess. Start from the side that has the bigger holes closer to where the key goes in. First thing I'm gonna do is insert those little springs in the inner drum. One in there. Once I have the springs in, I'm gonna start with number one. Once the number ones are in, you're gonna press down on them and insert your key. Now, once the key is in, you look at the tumblers and whichever one sticks out, it doesn't belong. So make note of the one that actually stay in. At this point, once you wrote it down, you pull the key out and remove the two that don't belong. This is not a pain in the butt at all. And keep going until you have all four top holes done. Once you're done with one side and there is nothing sticking out anymore and it looks good, flip it over. Time to do this side. Remember, when you pull the key out, tumblers, springs, and everything that is underneath will fall out. So pay attention, keep your hands on it. And repeat the process. So springs in there, tumblers in there, start from number one all the way to number 6 until they do not stick out anymore. And then at this point we can add the sub-lock tumbler, and that goes to the very top portion over here. Once you have all the tumblers in, it's time to go test it on the bag itself. Once you stick the inner drum inside the outer drum over here, you gotta make sure that it goes all the way down flush. You can actually hear the click when it locks. And it's locked. It doesn't let you. Then you open it, and now it does. At this point, you can pull it out and put the final stopper in. Warning, once you have the stopper in and you put it in, it's gonna stay, it's not gonna come out anymore. So watch out for that. There are only 2 steps left, and it's add the final lock in there and use the bigger spring. And now you have this. You have the cylinder completely filled with the last one that actually is able to go up and down, because once you stick it in there, locks the tumbler in place and you're done. The way it works is you put it at 45 degrees in there, and then you twist it to the right and push down. And that is it. Obviously, prepping the second key cylinder, it's much easier because you wrote it down, and the tumblers that go into the cylinder are exactly the same and in the same position as the first one you did. So that makes it easy. And that is it for today. I'm loving those panniers so far. They are huge, but they do not extend further than the handlebar. Maybe an inch on each side. But still, as long as you're conscious that you have the bags in the back, they will be not a problem in traffic. And as I said, easy to put in, easy to remove, lots of space. So all in all, it's a pretty good buy, especially considering that I spend my hard-earned money, especially right now, on them. Although I got a massive discount from Socal Honda down in Carson because I bought the bike there. And this is what you need to do wherever you buy the bike. If you buy a brand new from a dealer, make sure to negotiate discount on all the OEM accessories. Thank you very much to my patrons. You guys are the best. Thanks for the support. That is actually literally allowing me to do this right now. For everything I used in this video, i.e. the bags, check the description down below. There's gonna be links for them. And summer is here, time to go ride. So go ride your bike, and I'll see you next time.